Hello. Well, I did say that I would be back sooner rather than later, so welcome back again, viewers. So this video is part of a new series covering UK British-based chain restaurants, and to kick off proceedings I begin with my local branch of Honest Burgers here in Greenwich on Nelson's Road. Well, what is the big deal, you ask? Well, when you think of chain restaurants, you think of disappointment, frozen produce, items and food that is cooked and prepared off-site only to be reheated at a later given date. And worse still, fast food outlets that rely on low quality and unhealthy ingredients to cut costs, but for us consumers, the food is still rather pricey. I'm not going to name and shame. You could only look at your local high street in any given direction and you'll get a good idea of what the common culprits are. So as for Honest Burgers, indeed, yes, it is fast food, but it's fast food done the old way, the proper way. Well, I'm not going to ramble on any much further, as no surprise, I'm rather hungry, so I shall see you all inside by the table. And welcome to Honest Burgers in Greenwich. I just sat down, I picked a nifty seat facing the window to get as much daylight as possible. It's quite windy out there. I must admit I was quite frustrated filming the introduction with the gusts of wind just coming on at random moments. So here's the menu. There seems to be some specials as well, Cajun barbecue, limited edition, and local speciality as well, which is only available in this Greenwich store. Okay, just a quick scan here. I don't want to hold up service. So, you've got your starters, sharers, and they categorize everything into different. So you got your chicken, poultry column, and you got the vegetarian, the vegan as well. So I'm going to actually try a vegetarian burger, but as a starter, without any fries, and then go for their main offering, which is, I'm going to go for their Honest Burger, which is their signature burger. And as with many chain restaurants in the UK, and perhaps other parts of the world too, there are typical chain restaurant cutbacks, so there are no linen napkins, but paper serviettes, and if I'm lucky I might get some cutlery. Just your default choice of mayonnaise and ketchup. They're served in bottles. I just realised that they also offer top-up for drinks and chips. So all-inclusive with the price of the meal. Yeah, nice touch. Okay, so I went for one of their homemade or in-house made beverages, iced tea, and I did mention earlier on that they could top this up free of charge, so it's great if you're thirsty, and I'm sure it's pretty healthy as well. Anyway, so on behalf of Honest Burgers in Greenwich, cheers. Yeah, of course, very refreshing. You got the mint leaves, the tea, yeah, very thirst quenching, good stuff. And the first course and second has landed at the same time. I did a request for the main Honest Burger to be served after, but usual, lost in translation. Right, so we're going to get this fritter burger prepared for camera, so it's the only one worth for one serving of fries. However, I can have more if I request some. Big leaf salad there, just to try and appear healthy. I cut the burger in half. The reason why I want to dissect it is just to show you the contents and the impression of the quality. And as with many chain restaurants, the cutlery is quite mediocre, so you just have to make do with what they have. Alright, so there is basically fritter made, I don't know the exact ingredients, but it's going to be something carbohydrate, starchy, to emulate somehow southern fried chicken. It's not vegan, it's vegetarian, but there is the vegan option, is the plant-based burger, but I thought that would be too similar in concept to the main burger. Anyway, I'll stop waffling, let's give this a taste. Let's dig out the burger here. There's a lot of sauce and dressing and all that stuff going on this plate, so I have messy fingers and sort of slipping apart, falling apart as well. Here we go. Let's get a better angle. This is tricky, and I can imagine some viewers are going to get frustrated with me, but the fritter tastes very savoury. Got the almost hitting that fried chicken sensation, but you know it's not poultry in there, but it's tasty. It's a pretty good alternative to anything else. So far, so good. I'm struggling with the table as well. It's not the biggest table. It's pretty small, even by chain restaurant standards. So I'm going to have a bit of a challenge to get the camera mounted. Well, another bite. Just going to sample the Caesar salad, or the big leaf Caesar salads of large, uncut lettuce leaves, the crispy croutons and Caesar dressing. A lovely and vibrant lettuce. The dressing, even though there's quite a lot of it, I think is a little bit too much for my liking. But this is the thing with chain restaurants, they love to dob lots of sauce onto things. But good flavour, and you've got the chopped chives to give it freshness, additional freshness. So far so good. Wow, this is tricky. I've vlogged in quite a few eateries, restaurants, and this is one of the most trickiest, I say, logistically. It is. And bear in mind, I've sat shoulder to shoulder with other diners in places like Sweetings and Fallow. So, I'm going to try and work through the salad a little bit as my starter, and waffle on about the whole eating experience here. Fresh, crisp lettuce, so it certainly helps to cleanse the palates, but balances out the unctuousness of the burgers. Right, another piece of the salad, and then back onto the fritter burger. It's one of those strange courses where you could be switching between cutlery and have to eat with your hands. Always that dilemma. Some people insist on always eat hamburgers with your hands. Some prefer cutlery. Alright, so yeah, just to warn you, a lot of sauce on this burger, so try not to make too much of a mess. So the fritter, I reckon it's a mixture of different corn and perhaps beans in there. There seems to be a sort of dense, slightly dense texture. There's coleslaw underneath, gives a bit of crunch. So yeah, just imagine the southern fried chicken burger, but far more healthy. The chipotle sauce, so it gives it the element of a bit of heat, a bit of sweetness as well. Alright, it's time to be honest here. I didn't have much time to rehearse this particular section, so I'm going to have to rely on my notes and narrate off the back of that to try and make myself sound like I know what I'm talking about, but at least it makes me look a bit more authentic. So anyway, Honest Burgers followed a similar concept to Five Guys, and that is relying on localized produce in the same country at least to where they serve the food to their diners, and not a freezer in sight. Tom Barton and Philip Elis met back in 2009 in a Brighton pub. Neither chaps had any professional cooking experience, but in one beer-fueled evening perhaps, they both decided it was a good idea to cook and sell hamburgers to the unsuspecting diner. Tom and Philip front-loaded around £3,000 each to purchase a marquee and grilling equipment, then experimented with various flame-grilled burger creations inside Tom's Brighton's flat. His neighbours must have really loved him. In 2011 in London Brixton, Tom and Philip kicked off the Better Burger movement in their pilot restaurant, where everything you ate was homemade, using as much localised ingredients as possible. This approach is still in practice today and even more driven home by investing in their own butchery for better quality control and allowing each of the 46 and counting restaurants up and down the UK to offer a unique dish to its own location. Nifty. And here is the main course, the Honest Burger, So it's a all beef patty from the UK sourced, perhaps grass-fed cattle, and they don't make the burger just by simply mincing it. No, they do it the old way, which is to chop it into fine diced pieces of beef before forming a patty. And by default, they cook it to medium rare, so slightly pink in the middle. Okay, that was a bit of a challenge trying to cut the burger with a very blunt butter knife. It may as well just be used for butter. So there you go. So it's pink in the middle there. They could get away with it as the beef is very fresh and sourced from their own butchery, so no worries about, no concerns there. So I'm looking forward to having a bite of this. Delicious, tender, succulent beef patty in there. Sliced pickles there to a bit of acidity to counterbalance the richness of the beef. All good so far. And a generous portion of rosemary seasoned fries. These are, of course, hand cut, made in-house, using potatoes from, I believe it's a farm in Sussex. So, yeah, good quality produce there, very healthy. And you could request for more fries free of charge if you wish. Here we go. You can tell it's homemade by not just the way how it's cut, but the inside, the filling itself. It tastes of the starchiness, the potato flavour, perhaps even the soil where it was grown in. You can certainly taste the earthiness in there. Already I've used up all my quota of serviettes with all the sauce and the juices, the whole gamut of elements of this burger dish. Let's have another bite. Now, just for the sake of transparency, I do regularly order food from here just through my delivery app. I generally go for the smash burgers, as I wasn't sure about ordering burgers pink while in transit in a scooter, and who knows how many stops the delivery driver has to make. So having it in the restaurant, it makes more sense. It just fresh arrives to the table and you can eat straight away. So it's certainly delivering, I'd say. It's a good thing you can eat burgers by hand because the cutlery is absolutely useless. Excuse me for resorting to eating with my fingers with the fries, as just doesn't make sense switching between cutlery, which is not particularly great, and eating the burger. So rosemary fries, lovely flavour, as I said, pungent, the rosemary in there, just the right amount of salt also, so there's no salt and pepper on the table, don't need it, they got it just right. They are skin on also, the skin does have a good amount of flavour, so yeah, keep it in there. Oh, palate cleanser time, don't need it. I don't ever recall ever having two burgers as separate courses before. With the starting to feel a bit full now, but I might have to forego dessert. So what else can I say about this burger? Some slices of bacon thrown in the mix also adds a little bit more smoky sweetness to the whole experience. I just think that the main difference eating one of these burgers, say to most other chains, is the freshness of the produce. So you shouldn't walk out the door feeling guilty or filthy. I did make the comparison to Five Guys a little bit earlier in this video, where the parallel is the adoption of local sourced ingredients and nothing is ever frozen. Honest Burgers takes that step further by sauces, accompaniments are all made in-house where possible. And of course you get, unlike in Five Guys, you get cutlery, you get generally a little bit more of a more restaurant-orientated eating experience, so it's a bit more complete for overall better value for money. There's lots of criticism about Five Guys for being expensive, but there's a reason why that is. It's all good quality produce what you're eating. That's why it's twice as expensive as McDonald's, and we know kind of stuff that goes in there. Okay, I reckon I hit the end of the road with what to talk about. And hopefully I captured what this place is about, and not all fast food is bad for you. It's actually can actually makes you stronger. So let me finish this up and gather myself together, and I'll see you outside for the wrap up. Won't be long. So that was Honest Burgers in Greenwich. Hopefully that's a good start to the whole series of chain restaurants. Overall the experience is very positive, as hopefully I will capture on the camera. The ingredients, as I kept harping on about, is good quality, all fresh stuff, nothing frozen, nothing cooked off-site, and gives everyone a glimmer of hope that maybe more chain restaurants will follow suit. If it can be done and still be affordable, then we all win at the end of the day. And so that is all there is to it. The next video that I'll do that is in a chain restaurant, it's likely to be in a completely different setting, different cuisine altogether. So watch this space, folks. But until that time, I will bid you goodbye, and you will take care now.